Hello, I'm back. Happy New Year. The sun's right in the way. Oh God, no, this isn't gonna work. Hello, let's try that again. I look like I've got a bowl cut because I've got my hair clipped back. Oh well, I haven't got a bowl cut, by the way. Okay, anyway, welcome back. Happy New Year. 2026 is my year. I can feel it. I thought about not doing this anymore because now that I don't have the studio, I thought it was a bit weird. But actually, I'm going to, because this week's big, because we've got the DJ night tomorrow, the first DJ night of 2026. It's a charity fundraiser, 2 hours long, and I've got hardly anyone booked on, and I am so stressed about it. Like, I feel sick. I'm so stressed about it. I just don't know why people aren't booking. It's so weird to not have bookings for a DJ night. The last one at the studio was a bit quiet. A few of my regulars couldn't come, but it was still, I'd say like 75% full. Got like 24 spaces left before it's sold out. So yeah, I am panicking a bit because currently I'm at this moment in time, about 25 to 30 pounds, I'm down. That's before I've given any money to the charity. The idea was that it would be, even if it was only half full, I'd be able to pay the DJ, pay the venue, and then whatever is left over, that would go to the charity. So all the profit would go to the charity. I wasn't paying myself anything. I wasn't using the money for anything else other than to pay the DJ, pay the venue, and give the rest to charity. And currently I'm still down £25. The charity's not getting anything. I need to work out. I think I'm going to have to personally pay for the venue, and then at least the charity will get like 50 quid, which is still a bit rubbish, isn't it? But it's better than them not getting anything. Also doing a raffle as well, which I need to post a bit more about. This tonight are packed. I've got Pilates rebounds tonight. Rebounds I can only fit a certain amount of people in. There's a horse. Clippity clop. Trampoline situation at Langley. So I can only fit in 8 trampolines and I need one for myself. So that's fully booked, which I knew that would happen anyway because we used to have 12 and it used to be fully booked. And then I think I've only got a few spaces left for Pilates. I've got loads of people coming to Pilates and the room's bigger, so I actually have more people coming to Pilates than I could fit in at the studio. So that's good. Classes are busy apart from the DJ night. Everything else is busy, which is stressing me out even more because I'm like, why? This is the one I need to be busy. Been in the Herald. I've posted about it nearly every day. And the numbers are just not going up. Like, just no one's booking it. It's so weird. Maybe people worry about the weather. We've got a snow warning for tomorrow. But I've checked the weather this morning. I think we're going to get rain rather than snow. But whether people are worried about it snowing, I don't know. Today's the day. I have just bought a balloon. I didn't really want a gold one, but it's the only one they had. So I've got my 6th balloon, which I get a balloon every year for the birthday party. And I've got the cupcakes. More people have booked. Yesterday at classes were so busy last night. They overran so much though. It was not good. I'll explain that in a minute. So someone said to me last night, oh, I want to come to the DJ night tomorrow, but I can only come to the second half, so I can't come. When I do cool downs at classes, that's when I'm like, loads of thoughts come to me while I'm doing a cool down. I don't know why. So I thought I could just have a break halfway through and then people could arrive and then we could just carry on with the second half, 7:30 till 8:30, and people would just book for the hour. Someone asked me that originally, if they could just pick an hour to do. And I was like, no, because you need to warm up and you need to cool down and I can't let you leave without doing a cool down. And also you'll hurt yourself if you start without a warm up because it's so cold outside. Well, anyway, but especially because it's so cold. And that was before I'd done the playlist. And now that I've done the playlist, just by coincidence, halfway through we do an arm track and then the next track could actually be used as a warm-up. The type of moves that it is, we could do it as a warm-up. and that's about halfway through. So it's worked out perfectly. So people can book the second half. They can't just book the first half because there's no cool down, but they can just book the second half. And I've had 3 people book that since I put it up last night. And some more people have booked the double, like the whole 2 hours as well. So it's not going to be packed, but the charity are going to get some money now, which is good. So I think currently, if I do it how I was going to do it, where we pay for the DJ, pay for the venue, and then the rest goes to the charity, then I think the charity is getting about £50. I wanted to give them at least £100. So I'll see. And I've opened the raffle until Sunday as well to try and get more tickets sold for that as well. Hopefully people will buy tickets for that. I have sold some tickets, but hopefully people will buy tickets for that tonight and then still afterwards as well. Because you get that bit, the day when you post the day after, no matter how many times you post before an event, no matter what you do, when you post the video of the event the day after, you get messages and comments going, oh, I didn't know this was happening. Oh, I would have come to this. No matter what you do. So I thought adding the raffle till Sunday, when I post about tomorrow, then people might go, oh, I didn't know this was happening. Can I buy raffle tickets? That is what's happening in my head anyway. I look tired today because I have been up since 4:30. And then when I needed to get up, I fell back to sleep for an hour. So now I feel even worse. I should have just got up at 4:30. So that's why I've got big black circles around my eyes. Not ideal. Pilates last night, it's my fault that everything overran, but it was just like crazy. So Pilates started a few minutes late. I always overrun Pilates all the time because I have to make sure I do certain tracks. I'm too much of a yapper. My phone's ringing. Oh, my mum's wondering where I am because I was meant to meet her 20 minutes ago and I'm just in my car chatting. Pilates always overruns anyway, but I started it a little bit late. Plus we did loads of new tracks, so I had to explain them a bit more. Plus we had loads of new people in, so I had to explain the class to them. So it finished 15 minutes late, and then I had to get the trampolines out, and then some people that were doing the double had to go pop somewhere. Like, it was just chaos. And then so my trampoline class started not 45 minutes late, it started 15 minutes late, so then I didn't finish till 8:30. Then I had to put all the trampolines away. I didn't get home till 9 o'clock. By the time I'd gone to the shop to get some dinner, I got home at 9 o'clock and I was like, what the hell? So I went to sleep. By the time I'd eaten my dinner, had a shower, I went to sleep at midnight and then woke up at 4:30. So that's why I look like this. Oh my god, the weather is so bad, but I'm just grateful that it's not snowing because I think this was meant to be snow. It is just raining a lot. So yeah, I'm glad it's not snow because this would have been quite deep by now. And I would rather drive through a flood than drive through the snow. 100%. I've just got to the venue. I'm just going to get all my stuff out of the car. Get in there. I'm going to open it all up first before I take the balloon because this is not balloon weather. And as long as I have it for a picture, that sounds a bit bad, doesn't it? It's not all about Instagram, but as long as I have it for a picture, it's fine. So hopefully I get it in safe. Booked the venue for an extra hour so I can sort of see. So Nick's got time to set up and I can sort of, hopefully we can go on the stage. But I've never been on the stage before, so I don't know about the electric and the lights and the curtains and stuff. So I thought I'd book it for an extra hour just so we didn't feel rushed and Nick had plenty of time to set up. And it's probably a good thing I did because he's got to try and get all his equipment in this weather. Photo shoot with the balloon done. The annual Instagram pic is done for another year. I remember being really annoyed because I think it was year 3, I forgot to take one before and then afterwards I went all red and blotchy for some reason. I don't know if it was like the lighting or what, but I just took a picture of the balloon, not knowing that it was going to become a tradition. So now it goes like, there was none for the first year. Then year 2 is actually my favourite picture because I bought myself a mojito and it was at home, so I took loads of pictures and it was better lighting than in a hall. And year 3, I just took a picture of the balloon, which I'm so annoyed about. Then 4, I didn't really like that picture, but I used it anyway. Year 5 was the first one at the studio, so I really liked that one because it was at the studio. And then year 6, I've just taken it. And I feel like this one, I'm gonna like really enjoy looking back on, because I feel like this is the one where I've been challenged the most in the last year, and I've gone through the most with ShanFitness in the last year. So I feel like when I look back on this one, I'll be like, that's when I knew that I'd made it through the hard bit and I'd got through it. And that was like the first DJ night after I'd been through like a really tough year. So I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy looking back on this one. I have had 3 hours sleep. I forgot my speaker. I forgot my iPad. And now I've got to teach 2 classes. I keep my old speaker in the car, but there's some exposed wires at the back. That's why I bought a new one. So it's all right if I forget mine, but it's not okay all the time. So the new speaker is, you have to charge it. It's not, you don't like plug it in. And that's the problem, because I can't like keep it in my car, which may be a good thing that I can't keep it in my car, because that is a bit risky, but it's sat on charge at home. And I'm here. Look at me. Look at the bags under my eyes. My glasses have steamed up. For some reason, just decided that I just don't need sleep anymore. So I just haven't slept again last night. I did sleep more, probably the most I've slept all week. Well, it's Monday today, but like in the last week, I slept more than I have done last night. I slept for about 6 hours, but that definitely wasn't enough. But actually, I'm not gonna just sleep until I wake up. I'm gonna set an alarm for 7 o'clock and I'm gonna go for a walk. So I've just been for a 5-mile walk along the seafront. Decided, because I haven't got a routine, they're filthy. I feel like they're all salty. Because I haven't got a routine, I think that's what I'm struggling with. And I'm just so tired. I just can't sleep. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I did enjoy it at the start when the studio first closed, because I'd been so long in such a strict, disciplined routine where I was like, I have to make sure I get all this done today, and I have to be here, and I have to do that. I have to be at the studio for this time. When the studio closed, because I'd lived like that for over a year, every single day, I was like, I'm just going to enjoy just like living in the moment. And if I wake up one day and I think, oh, I fancy going here, then I've got the freedom to do that. And I wanted to really like appreciate it and do it, which I did. And in December, I really enjoyed it. I'd think, oh, I'll go to my mum's work today and see her, and then, oh, I'll go here, and oh, I'll do this today, and oh, like, it was really nice to have that freedom. Now that Christmas is out the way, I think I need routine and I need discipline, and I just haven't got it, and I think I'm struggling with it, and I think that's why I can't sleep. I had sleeping habit over Christmas, definitely. So I'm trying to fix that, and I thought, even if I only sleep a few hours last night, still getting up at 7, setting my alarm for 7 and making myself get up and going for a walk, making myself do that, I think is a good start in like discipline and like getting back into a routine. I would have been up since 7, so hopefully I would sleep a bit better and bed earlier. I naturally go to sleep between 11 and 12 and wake up about 8. Just like what my natural pattern falls into if I haven't got to be like really strict and set alarms and stuff. That's just what it naturally is. At the moment, that's not working, so I'm making myself get up at 7. But I feel good today. I obviously look horrendously tired, The annoying thing, my feet are burning. You know when the bottoms of your feet burn when you walk? I'm wearing Crocs, so like not the best walking shoes, I suppose. And I got into my car and my mum was like, oh, I'm about to go for a walk along the seafront, do you want to meet me? And I rang her and I was like, I've just walked to Hollywood and back. But now she's on her way to come meet me, so I don't know how far I'll walk with her as well, but it's just a start. Whereas that's actually a good example of it, because I'd probably still be in bed now because I would have had a rubbish night's sleep, so I probably would have fallen back to sleep this morning, which kept happening. I kept waking up early and then falling back to sleep and then waking up at like 9:30. It's like 9:25 now. But she would have texted me that and I would have been like, oh, I'm still in bed, and then like feeling all like groggy and like rubbish, and then I would have she would have been like, oh, don't worry then, and then she would have been, that car nearly hit me. Do you see that? It just swerved in front of me. So I feel like, and again, it just nearly reversed into me. What's going on? That would have ruined that as well, and I wouldn't have even gone with her. But now, because I was already out, I was like, oh, I'm already here, so let me know. Like my day's a bit easier, a bit better already. I've got work to do today, so I was going to go straight home and do work, so I start work straight away now. But now that I'm meeting her, I'm not sure that will happen, but so maybe that's not really, I shouldn't have said yes, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it now. I have realised that I haven't actually told you about the DJ night. I haven't mentioned it at all. So we did the 2-hour-long DJ night on Thursday just gone, so it's now Monday, and yeah, it was good. We had a couple of cancellations, it was quite quiet, and I feel like I did, from a charity point of view, for it to be like a charity fundraiser, I think the 2-hour thing was great. Also, if there'd been more people, then it probably would have been a little bit better. But I felt like, for me personally, it took the fun away from it, because I was too busy like, is everyone okay? Is this playlist okay? Is it too intense? Is it not intense enough? Am I going to be okay? Like, have I paced myself correctly? Like, because I've got this thing in DJ nights where I don't pace myself, and I do, it is a thing, like I say it all the time, like I get so hyped up and I get such an adrenaline rush as soon as we do the first track that I go for it so much. By the time we've done like 3 tracks, I am dead, like I'm gone. I was really aware of that, and I know I can push myself for a normal DJ class even if I haven't paced myself. Sorry, someone just ran over a seagull. That was really rude. Seagulls are trying to eat some food in the cars and in the road, and the cars are just whacking into them. I know even if I go crazy at the start and get a huge adrenaline rush and then just like burn out at the start, I can still sort of make it through all right and cover it well, I think. Whereas like the 2-hour one, I was like, right, I need to pace myself, and then I was so focused on like how steady I was going and not going too crazy that I felt like, and people might not have noticed it, it might have just been in my head, but I feel like I lost that like energy. I wasn't really shouting and like getting excited, and I was just teaching a class, so I feel like it lost that energy about it. It was actually harder than I thought, because I do double classes. Every time I teach a class now, I do a double. So I do a class at 6:30 and a class at 7:30 every evening. Especially when I had the studio, I was teaching like 13, 14 classes a week. So I thought it'll be fine. It's only 2 hours. I do 2 hours all the time anyway. But 45 minutes of cardio or strengthening. Then we have 15-minute break where people leave, people arrive. I talk to people, and then we do another 45 minutes of the opposite of what we've just done. So, for example, on a Thursday, we do jungle body at 6:30, 45 minutes of dance cardio, 15-minute break, and then 45 minutes of weights, and then 15 minutes at the end for me to pack up. So those 2 hours not only include 2 different types of exercise, they also include 2 15 minutes. That's not exactly. It's only an hour and a half, and it's split. Not only was it an extra half an hour because it was a solid 2 hours, it also was a solid 2 hours of cardio, which I found harder than I thought I would, which I am surprised about and also a bit offended, because I'm like, hang on, why did I find that hard when it's my class? You get a bit samey, and I think that's the problem. Like, the repetition is what caused the fatigue and like the aching. Arms the next day were just killing, and I think it was because my arms did not stop moving the whole time. Guess when I walked up the hill at Holywell? My heart rate. Oh my god. I do keep going on about it, but I had the flu just before Christmas, and my chest still hasn't really recovered, I don't think. I don't know if it's like the drop in temperature as I was getting better has sort of not helped it. Bad timing, I guess. But I started walking up the hill at the end of the seafront, and my chest was like, oh no, too much information, but I was like coughing up mucus trying to get up this hill, and I thought, I walk up this hill all the time, I can't get up it. I had to stop halfway, and I pretended to take a picture because there was a man there who was definitely twice my age, just like jogging up the hill, like struggling with my chest, with like doing cardio, still like catches me a bit. Do you know what I need? I need a salt room. I need a salt session. That would have sorted it out. I'm trying to sell all that. Trying to sell everything. Yeah, so that the assault room reopened. I hadn't thought of that though. That would really sort me out, I think. That's exactly what I need, a salt session. That is why my chest is not recovering, because usually I would have had loads of salt sessions to get it back up to what it was before. I'm guessing the sea air would have helped a bit. So we raised about £115 for the charity, which I think is, I mean, all money for a charity is good money, but I'm a bit disappointed in that, if I'm honest. I just think the class was really quiet. I'm not really too sure why. I don't think I really liked it at Langley either. So my mum's calling me. Wow, this is bad lighting. Oh my god, is that really what I look like? That's not what I look like, is it? Is it? God, I couldn't be able to hold you, so you're in my phone. I'm gonna have to get you out. I can't look like this. I mean, I don't look much better, but it's better than that angle. Just at Langley, I'm just about to go into class. I'm doing Pilates rebounds tonight. So Pilates, I've got 11. Rebounds fully booked. She's back. She is back. I feel like my new year has started yesterday, because basically every year, I don't have New Year's resolutions, but I decide what I want to achieve by the end of the year. So like just small things, like feelings more than anything. So 2025, I decided I wanted to be the strongest, both physically and mentally, I'd ever been. Part of me regrets that, because I put that out into the universe, and then the universe was like, okay, let's do it. And obviously, you know, a lot happened last year. I did have to be really strong mentally, and people kept asking me, like family, mostly family, kept saying, how are you so like strong? Like even before the studio closed, like the whole year, people would say, how are you so like mentally so strong? And I would just like laugh at myself in my head, because I'd be like, what have I done? Why did I say I wanted to be the strongest mentally ever? Because now the universe is gonna do it. Anyway, and I also ended up teaching a lot more classes than I wanted to teach last year. So I was the strongest I'd been physically in a long time. Since the dancing days back in the day. This year, I have decided that I want to be the happiest and the most positive I've ever been. I always try and stay quite positive anyway. I always try and just like push through. That sometimes can be a bit negative, because I don't necessarily judge other people, but sometimes people don't make sense to me when they've had, like, they go, I've had such a stressful day, I've had the worst day ever, and then they tell me what's happened, and I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. That's not stressful at all. Why are you stressed? Like that's like everyone's day. So it can be a bit negative, because I start to think like, what's wrong with other people? Like, why are you all so miserable? Like, the worst thing could happen. I'm not putting this out into the universe. I don't want anything bad to happen this year. But the worst thing can happen, and you just have to feel your emotions. I'm not saying you have to be, you can't be miserable and you can't be upset and you can't be sad about anything. But you have to just like go through it and not let it consume you. But you have to feel your feelings and then just try and clear your head and move forward. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are always like, I'm so stressed, my life's so stressful, and then they tell me stories about stressful things that have happened, and I'm like, okay, is that okay? Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that then. So I've decided I want to be the happiest I've ever been and the most positive I've ever been. So I do try and do that anyway, but this year I'm going to really push for it. And I also want to be the most successful that I've ever been. So that is the vibes for 2026. So when we got to January, I just felt absolutely miserable. I wasn't getting annoyed, but I just felt miserable. And I was like, I just can't be bothered for this. Like, I don't know, I just felt miserable. And then my period started, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. So the first 2 weeks of January was the week before my period, miserable. Week of my period, miserable. It finished yesterday, and now I am ready to be happy and successful. So if the start of this video has been me looking a little bit miserable, then that is why, because I have been miserable but still positive. I've just been a bit grumpy, and I haven't really been sleeping either, which is weird because I don't think anyone has. Everyone I speak to, they're like, I haven't really slept in the last 2 weeks, and I've just started sleeping again as well. The last 2 nights I've had 7 and a bit hours sleep both nights. I mean, you can't tell because I've still got bags under my eyes, but they're slowly going, they're getting better. So I'm feeling positive now for 2026. There was a bit of a wobble at the start, but I think it was just hormonal, and now I'm ready to start the year properly. Like, I just need to trust the process at the moment. I feel like intuitively, I feel like I shouldn't be pushing. I shouldn't be pushing for more people. I shouldn't be pushing to find a new venue. I shouldn't be pushing to do anything. I feel like I just need to do my classes, do them the best I can, post videos of them if I have them, and just see what happens and see how the next few weeks play out. I'm really being told intuitively to not push. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sort of having a little rest, but still working hard and still doing my classes, but just going with the flow. That is what I'm doing. I'm going with the flow. My God, guys, Wednesday nights, I always nearly say Tuesdays, Wednesday nights are killing me. I'm going to have to email her. I'm going to have to pay for extra time in the hall because it just absolutely kills me, and I'm like not enjoying it. And I used to love Pilates rebounds. Like, it's hard, but I used to really enjoy teaching it. Well, obviously I enjoy teaching all my classes, that's why I do them, but Wednesday nights. So I go into the community centre about 15 minutes before. So I hire it from 6:30. And I've always done that. Whatever community centre I've used over the years, over the last 6 years, I have done it. I've hired the time the class is, and then all I need to do is just pop in like 10 minutes before, plug my speaker in, and I'm ready. But this is different. So I go in there about 15 minutes before, which you're usually allowed to do, just to set up. So I try. Luckily at the moment, my mum's been coming to Pilates, so she's been there with me when I've gone in. I literally chuck the trampolines out because they're right in the back cupboard. Chuck the trampolines out, By the time I've done that, people are waiting outside, and because of the weather, I have said to people, don't arrive before 25 past, but at the same time, if they do, because of the weather, I just feel like I need to let them in. I can't just like ignore them and like not look. So people arrive from like 20 past, so I let them in, and I'm like chucking mats at them because I appreciate it so much, but class last night was so busy that I was literally chucking mats at people. I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't have time to say hello to anyone properly. I said hi I like shouted hi as they walked in. Like that's just not what ShanFitness is about. It's not like walking in and if it's your first time not knowing where to go or not knowing what to do. But I haven't got time to like stand there and welcome everyone and chat to everyone. At the studio, I know having your own studio is so different, but at the studio, I used to get everything ready about an hour before, so I'd have all the mats out if it was busy. If it wasn't that busy, I'd let people get their own mats out, because then they can choose where to their mat and put it in a place that they want and get 2 mats if they wanted to. So I would leave it up to them if it was a quiet class, but if it was a busy class, I'd put all the mats out. Well, obviously I'd hoover first, then I'd put all the mats out, I'd make sure I was ready, then I'd unlock the door at 1:15 for a 1:30 class, and I would sit there and chat to everyone while we were waiting, and if there was new people, I'd be able to talk to them about what's going to happen and what to do when they go in. It just gave me a bit more time, and by the time we'd started the class, I was already relaxed and like excited that everyone was here. Whereas now it's like, oh my god, have I done this? Have I done this? Oh my god, the speaker's not even on, everyone's coming in. I'm just so stressed. Like last night, I felt like I couldn't even go for a wee before class because I was like, we're running out of time. I had to get my mum to like stand at the door and make sure everyone was okay while I went for a wee. Things like that just really stress me out. Like it's all like when loads of little things all together, that's when I get really stressed. And then class overran by like 10 minutes because we started a bit late and it was just, I felt really rushed. So class overran by 10 minutes. Then I had to chuck the trampolines out. Then that class started late, and then I'm constantly clock watching because the later that class goes on, the less time I have to pack up, or the more I'm going to overrun packing up on my own, and like I need to get home. Why does my distracted? Undiagnosed ADHD. What was I saying? So the later that class finishes, the more of a rush to put all the trampolines away on my own and get all the mats away and get everything back to how it was. Like that's when so I'm already stressing at the start of the second class, thinking this has started 5 minutes late, that means that it's going to finish at least 5 minutes late, maybe even more. Then I've got to put the trampolines away, got to get out, got to get home, have my dinner, have a shower, get to bed, get up in the morning. Like it's like it spirals in my head. Last night I thought, I'm getting this stressed and I'm not happy with the way everyone is being treated. That sounds a bit dramatic because it's literally you just coming in and finding your mat. But all of this is happening literally just because I don't want to pay for an extra half an hour. And I thought that's actually just tight. So I'm going to email her today and ask if I can pay for an extra half an hour so then I can get there just before 6. Because another thing as well, which yesterday turned out okay. I wanted to do some new rebounce tracks. I haven't done any new rebounce tracks since the studio closed because I'm finding it really hard to do them because I haven't got anywhere to practice them. So last night at home, I thought, right, I've got some time. I'm going to do a couple of new rebounce tracks. So I did them at home, but I don't have a trampoline at home. So what I found when I was choreographing rebounds, you can sit there and go, oh yeah, that's a good move, yeah, do that, bounce there, then, and then you get on a trampoline and there's not enough time to do the bounce. Or like if you're doing a step, you have to remember it takes twice as long because of the resistance and the bounce. So something that works with the music on the floor won't necessarily work on the trampoline. But the problem is I don't have time to practice it on the trampoline. So in my head last night, I done some new tracks at home. They fit with the music at home. And then I thought, right, I'll get there, chuck all the trampolines out, and then I'll quickly practice it. I didn't have any time. I was still getting the mats out and stuff when people were arriving. I had no time at all. So when we started rebounds, I was like, luckily it was all people that had been before. I probably would have just not done them if it had been new people as well. But it had been people that had been a lot of times before. So I said to everyone, look, I've got new rebounds tracks, but I've never done them on a trampoline because I can't. So this is the first time I'm ever going to do them on a trampoline. I know what I'm doing. I know the moves. I know how to teach it. But whether it actually fits on a trampoline is a different situation. So the two standing tracks, we did a cardio track and like a dancey track. They were actually really fun on the trampoline. We did an ab track, which was way too quick because we do ab tracks down on the trampoline, so we're laying back on the trampoline. But again, it's hard to know when you're not on a trampoline what the bounce is going to be like or what like the resistance is going to be. So when you're trying to do crunches, you're not just doing a crunch, you're doing a crunch and trying to stop yourself from bouncing, and then so it takes a little bit longer, so it is harder to fit them in with the music. And there was one move that was too quick on the ab track, so yeah, that was a bit crazy. And then yeah, like when everyone left, I just wanted to cry because like the whole hall is just a mess, and not because of anyone's fault, but like mats everywhere, trampolines everywhere, like I've just like got to try and get it all back in like 10 minutes, and it's just, I think because I could be lazy at the studio. So if you've watched these for a while, you'll know I was lazy at the studio with the trampolines, because if we overran a little bit, or if I was really hungry, or I just couldn't be bothered, or I knew there was nothing really going on the next morning, I would just leave the trampolines out and go home and then put them away the next day when I had like more time and I could put some music on, and then I'd clean afterwards and stuff, and like I just had more time. Whereas now I've literally got to chuck them away in 10 minutes, and yeah, it's quite stressful. I'm going to ask for an extra half an hour at the start in the hope that I have longer to set up. Then I can start Pilates earlier. I'll start it at 25 past. I'll change the thing, which is what we used to do at the studio. Hopefully Pilates will finish on time. Rebounds always finishes on time anyway. The problem's been because Pilates is overrun. It started late. That's what's been stressful. So if I can get Pilates to finish at 15:15 when it's meant to, then I've got 15 minutes then for everyone to go to the toilet and new people to arrive and get the trampolines out and get them set up and not have to rush around. I'm gardening today. I'm covering at my mum's work because she's short-staffed, and I said I would just cover, but I covered yesterday, but I was in the hotel, so it was all right. And I feel like I should have said I'll cover in the garden on Wednesday and the hotel on Thursday, but instead I said I'll cover in the hotel Wednesday and the garden Thursday. But it was lovely sunshine yesterday and today is pouring rain, so I feel like I've made an error. I feel like my eye's getting worse. I actually look like I've been punched in the eye. I haven't. I have got a Botox bruise though. If I get Botox, I haven't had Botox in ages. I used to get it all the time, and I started getting like a ridge here. Can you see that? So I'm hoping, it's got worse today, and I'm hoping when it sets in properly, because I only had it done a couple of days ago, so it's not like set in yet, I'm hoping that goes, because if I relax my face, which is really hard to do, I can't really relax it, you can still slightly see it, but I'm usually like this, and look how bad it is. So I'm hoping in the next couple of days that goes, because that's really irritating me. I can't believe it's got worse. You see that? I look like an angry cartoon character. Anyway, I need to go now. Hello, I just need to put my trousers on. I have got shorts on, I promise, but I just thought I'd talk to you while I pack up. I promise I've got shorts on. My biggest fear though is that one day, because I take my trousers off at the start of class. One day I would have forgotten to put my shorts on, and I'll just take my trousers off in front of everyone. So every time I go like this first to make sure I've got shorts on, and I go, don't worry everyone, I've got shorts on. But that is like a fear. It hasn't happened yet, but I feel like one day it might. I might just rip my trousers off and just be stood there in my knickers. I'm just packing up. It's Sunday morning, so another week done. Very, very quiet this morning. People always hype up January in the fitness industry. Like, January's always so busy. Everyone, new year, new you. And actually it's not. You get like a little influx. It is definitely busier than December, 100% busier than December, but it's not that busy. I find I don't really get busy till February, March. So Wednesday night was packed, so busy, and I thought, maybe. Thursday night I had a lot of cancellations, so I could just carry more than one, couldn't I, rather than keep walking backwards and forwards. I had so many cancellations on Thursday, so it was busy when it was booked, but then loads of people cancelled, so it ended up being quiet. And then this morning was so quiet. I still did both classes, but only just, because the numbers were very low. It's just what happens. It's just one of those things. I think come February, March, it will be. I think people have this idea in their head that as soon as it turns to January, you get all this motivation and you want to like better yourself, or which you probably don't need to do. It's all in your head. Suddenly it's icy and you've got to scrape your car, and it's potentially going to snow, and then everyone sort of loses interest again. But as soon as the sun comes out and the daffodils come out in February and you start seeing signs of life, then people get their motivation back. But that's just not what you hear in the news and stuff. They just make it up. They just make it up. So if you're hibernating this month, then that's fine. That is actually what you're meant to do at this time of year. Unless you're me, obviously. I haven't been hibernating. But it's still the middle of winter. It shouldn't be New Year yet. It doesn't make sense for New Year to be in December. It makes sense for New Year to be like 1st of March, maybe. Because that is when spring has sprung. So, Thursday night did classes. Friday night, I went to an event. I was meant to go to an event on Monday. I was having a very busy week, but the event on Monday got cancelled. I don't know if I've said that already, but I was meant to go to an event and it was cancelled, like a vision board situation. So I went to an event on Friday, and it was like pottery painting and tarot. So I haven't done, odd combination, I've never done anything like that before. I really enjoyed the pottery painting. I'll show it to you in next week's vlog when I go and pick it up, because it's got to go in the kiln and stuff. So that was fun. And the reason that I booked it really is because there was also a tarot reading. And basically, I was going into that tarot reading. All I wanted, I didn't know this woman, I'd never even heard of her. All I wanted was for her to tell me that closing the studio was the right decision. That's all I wanted. And she did, so I was happy with that. It was a very short reading, and I think potentially it was short because she told me what I wanted to hear. So I was like, cool, thanks for that. And I just walked off. And then afterwards I thought, should I have stayed and asked questions? Because I was quite near the table. So I was one of the first people to go up. And then after me, a lot of people were spending a lot longer there, asking questions, taking pictures of their cards and stuff. I don't know if it's because I could read tarot as well, that sort of, although I try and block that off and I try and just listen to what they've got to say, I have a reading, I try not to read the cards myself. I just like take them for what they are and just don't really get involved. I just knew what I wanted her to say and she said it. So basically she said that whatever I was doing, whatever I had been doing, I ended it. And then I'm trying to think what she exactly said, because this is another thing, especially with tarot readings, you should really record them, because sometimes you just make up afterwards what they've said. But she said that whatever you'd been doing wasn't a bad idea. it would have worked, but whatever happened, you ended it, and now you're going to restart it again, and then now it's going to be a lot calmer and a lot more positive. I'm not going to talk about on here why it will be calmer, but if you went to the studio, then you'd probably know what I think she was getting at. As soon as she said that, I thought, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. So she was like, the next time you do it, it's even more successful because it's like more peaceful and calmer and just like more you. And I knew exactly what she was getting at, and that's exactly what I needed to hear. So I was happy with that. I was like, cool, thanks, that'll do, I'm done. That's all I wanted you to say. She did ask me, she was like, does that make sense? Like, what have you just ended? And I told her that I'd just closed my fitness studio and I'm going to reopen it, but I'm just not mentally, physically, financially ready to reopen it yet. But she was like, yeah, like that makes total sense. She didn't ask me why I closed it or anything. It's like, that makes sense, like you're going to reopen it quite soon. I think she said sooner than I think, which is good, because at the moment I'm like, I want it to be open now. That was positive. So I didn't feel like I needed to ask any questions. I was like, cool, thanks for that, bye. Just walked off. I just needed someone to tell me it was the right decision, not like family, friends, not someone that knows all the details, someone to just sit there and go, you've made the right choice for your path, your journey. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Like everything, I knew it already was the right decision. I'd sat in the studio and I'd thought to myself, I need to find a way to get out of this lease. I need to close the studio and open somewhere else. And then like 2 weeks later, someone walked into the studio and said, I can get you out of your lease. And I was like, okay. Like that wasn't enough for me. Like really, that should be enough for me to know that it was like intuitive, or the universe was helping me, or it was a manifestation or something. That should have been enough for me, but it wasn't. I needed someone that I didn't know to sit in front of me and tell me it was the right decision. And that's exactly what she did. So I would have paid, it was only 30 quid to do pottery painting and tarot reading. I would have paid thousands for her to tell me that. That's not good for business though, because I need to open a new studio, so I probably wouldn't have. But like priceless. I needed her to sit there and tell me that. So I'm buzzing now. I'm so happy. She like was open already. Like I'm finding it really difficult. Did you hear that? I've bought a new speaker. Don't you think it sounds like that old BBC when you used to watch like a BBC video and it used to do when it came across the screen? I think it sounds the same. Anyway, that was back in the day when we had VHS tapes. So I'm feeling positive and I'm feeling happy. And I just really needed that for my own sanity. But I am struggling with this a bit. Just like, it's hard because I appreciate the fact that I could find somewhere. And it's not personal to this space. I think I would feel it in any space we were in. But it's just not mine. And I just feel a bit restricted. And yeah, I just feel like Sunday morning classes and the 9:30 rebounds just isn't working. It's just not getting any busier. But there's nothing really I can do. I can just put on a different class at 9:30. Like I can't think, oh, I'll change it to 11:30, or oh, I'll do this, or oh, I'll change it to a Saturday. Like all I can do is change the class to a different one and hope that it gets booked. Like there's nothing else I can do. So I feel a bit restricted, and I just feel a bit all over the place, and I always feel like I'm in a rush, and I always feel like, I always feel like I'm apologising to people. Sorry, I've just got to get the mats out. Sorry, I've got to do this. Sorry, the floor's dirty. Sorry, it smells funny. Sorry, I've just got to lock up. Sorry, I've just got to do this. Sorry, I've just got to run to my car. Like, I feel like I'm just always apologising. And I just preferred it where people would just come into the studio and I would be like, welcome, let's have a chat and let's do a class. Everything was there ready. Everything was clean. Everything, like, I don't know, I just miss that part of it, but I don't miss the stress and everything else that came with it. So I'm enjoying the peace, but I do feel very rushed and on edge all the time. So, but anyway, that's the end of this fortnightly video now. Hope you enjoyed. See you the week after next.